what we're going to be doing today is focusing on doing the red. We're going to be cutting everywhere. All right. Now, when you're in the recording studio, uh, when you use the EQ, the end goal is to make that particular sound exciting, better, more full of life, choose your adjective. But when we're doing live sound, you can't necessarily everything that you were able to do to manipulate a lead vocal, for example, for a record, you're not going to be able to quite do the same approach live. And here's why. Because now the microphone and the speaker are in the same physical room. So whatever you try to do to sweeten this up and make it sound really good with headphones on, all of that is out the door as soon as you turn the speaker on. So what we have to do in sound reinforcement is we have to do the best compromise we can to, let me turn this off here, to make it sound the best it can be without it feeding back. So gain before feedback is what we're after. And granted, we're not in a recording studio. We don't have a nice $3,000, microphone. We've got a $78 microphone, and so, and we have to make this presentable. Now, this is how we use the EQ to do that. Okay. I have a process that I named frequency notching technique. And what it is you manipulate the frequency response of each thing individually to where when they're summed together on the main bus, they all coexist in the mix. And you don't have like a guitar covering up a piano part and likewise. And like that previous graphic, we've seen how much frequencies, especially a piano and keyboard encompasses with no EQ at all. I mean, they just cover the whole gamut. And so what we have to do is find spaces. A good generalization would be if the left-hand keyboard, the piano player, they're playing down in that register and it's walking all over what the bass guitar is doing. I may notch some of those lower frequencies out of the piano so that the bass guitar can do its job as like, I'm the foundation here, And so it really depends. That's where you get into the subjectivity of audio. That's where it can really depend on how you EQ it, is depending on what you're actually using. So when it comes to the perception, like we did earlier, if all I did was just bring up the gains and didn't do any EQ, you look at there and you're like, okay, I can tell, yeah, there's a band up there. But then what happens is when we get done with EQ, we have something that looks like this. You still have everybody there, but now you can pick things out. Because the end goal for us, because we're talking live sound, and people even hear with their eyes. And so what happens is when we have a good, well-balanced mix out in the house, what happens is if I see two acoustic guitars and an electric guitar, for example, I make eye contact with that left guitar player and I can hear the chords. And then I look over here at the lead player. I can hear him doing his little thing in and around the melody and stuff. And that's when you know you have a good mix. Everything is there. And folks' ear brain system can fill in the rest. Because if you've got it in the mix, they can, quote, pick it out if you've got it in there. And so that's the goal of what we're wanting to do with EQ.